welcome. So grateful to be back for another week of yoga. Happy to have you here with me. We'll want a couple blocks. If you don't have these, you can use maybe a firm pillow, you can use books. Hopefully by now you've got something to use for your practice. A blanket is really nice. You don't have to have this particular kind. It's just a Mexican blanket, pretty traditionally used in yoga. But something to sit on so the pelvis can tilt forward, the legs can ground a little bit more. The blocks can be really nice, especially if your hips are tight. So if you're seated, even with the support of the blanket underneath you and the knees are up, that's causing tension in the hip joints, and we don't want that. So you can always bring the ground to you, as I like to say, so you can use these supports. That's what they're here for. And then I like to use a strap, or in this case I'm using a scarf. This is just really nice. It's sometimes even kinder on the hands. It's not as stiff as a strap. And as long as we're not going to need to loop the strap, which we generally won't, you can always use this or a long sleeve shirt, just something that has a little material to, again, kind of help you out in these postures. We're gonna start seated. So again, that comfortable cross-legged seated position, legs grounding, even if that means you're using supports, using props. And for a moment, just collapse in the spine, relax forward. So think about the chest crowding, the shoulders drawing forward, belly is soft. And then what does it take to grow your spine tall? What does it take to open the chest? Maybe we can roll through shoulders, up, back, and down a couple times. If the shoulders and chest feel tight, you can create that expansion. And then draw the head forward. So this is where we're often at. The head jutting forward a little bit, looking at technology, looking at the screen. Can you draw the chin in a little bit? Even giving yourself that lovely double chin. So as if you could touch the back of the head to the wall behind you. And then just finding that sweet spot in between those two. So think about the spine supporting the weight of the head as it should. And then the arms relax. The hands can just rest on thighs or knees. Palms are up or down. A moment to close the eyes, checking in, welcome yourself to your practice with an open mind, with an open heart. Finding softness where there's tension, just easing that out of the body as we bring awareness to the body. It's simply about noticing. We can use this same technique in our day-to-day, so in our interactions, or even when we're alone with ourselves. Where are we holding on to tension? Where can we break that cycle of pain in the body? Where can we open? Notice also if we're breathing shallowly, maybe in the upper lobes of the lungs, can you breathe a little more deeply into the lower belly? Think about the lower lobes. Really expanding and breathing without forcing. So just like the body opens over time, the lungs will tone and open as well, especially as the structures around the lungs open and stretch. We're not looking for a quiet mind, we're just looking for mindfulness. Notice what's alive in you. It might not be physical, it might be emotional. It might be habitual thoughts. But where can you find a presence here, just for a moment? Maybe it's with the breath. Maybe it's with an intention, just something personal to you, something positive. Breathing that in. You can bring palms together at the heart, bowing the head slightly. Begin to interlace the fingers, pressing the palms away. Maybe rounding through the back body even more. Tucking the tailbone and then arriving back through seated, tall spine, open heart, the knuckles towards the front. Pressing the arms away, opening through the back body, keeping fingers interlaced, tall spine, this time palms reaching skyward, drawing the shoulders up towards the ears and then relax them back down. And again, drawing up, maybe on your inhalation, think about lengthening in the torso, and then exhale, relaxing back down. The next time you inhale, release the fingertips, lengthen, and then exhale, the left palm alongside the left hip. Maybe bending through that left elbow, stretching the right side body, inhaling back through center, and exhale, grounding the right palm. Inhale, left arm up and over. So we're just gonna move like this several times from side to side. It might feel good to close the eyes and just flow with your own breath. See what comes naturally for you. Never wanting to hold the breath. Maybe letting the breath begin to guide the movement. Sit bones grounding, rooting us to the earth, giving us a place to stretch from. One more time from side to side. And arriving, coming back through your center. You can grow through the spine, taking some rolls through the shoulders, up, back, and down. Maybe moving more into the spine. You can start to bow forward a little bit, and then as you draw the shoulders back, open the heart. One more time. Really starting to kind of exaggerate these movements. And this time as you draw shoulders up, back, and down, plant the palms alongside the hips. I like to slide my fingers under the blanket. Lengthen through the legs, active through the legs. Press the palms into the earth and lengthen. Breathe. Make sure the neck feels safe. One more breath here. And then shifting the gaze forward, the neck back through neutral. Bending the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. And the heels can be close to the inner V of the legs, or it can be, the feet can be further away. And again, you can always use the blocks to support you underneath the legs. Finding a nice tall spine here. And just let the knees release towards the earth. Just take a moment to notice without adjusting too much, without forcing. Take a deep breath. So we've got options here. You can hinge forward at the hips. That's a deeper stretch, especially for the inner legs. Maybe that's what you need. If you bow forward, this can be more restorative. Maybe that's what you need. This opens more of my back body. I'm feeling this in my mid-spine. That's just where I'm tight today. The shoulder blades along the back are separating. I'm crowding forward intentionally. And the head is heavy. Or again, you're keeping a tall spine and thinking about lifting and reaching the chest more towards the feet. So each offers its own benefit, and you do what you need according to your body. Never forcing, never pain, never sharpness. One more breath. And take your time. You can always engage core no matter where you're at, and that helps protect the back body. Arriving back through center, you can always move props out of the way, starting to lengthen through the legs once again. Feet can go wide, maybe hip distance or wider. You can pump the backs of the legs into the earth, rocking legs back and forth a little, flexing and pointing through feet if that feels good, spreading through toes. And beginning to rebend the knees, recrossing through the legs. So I'm having the opposite leg in front. I like to stay symmetrical. It really does make a difference. So normally I sit with the opposite leg. This is my comfortable way to sit. But each time I revisit that same seated position, I like to bring the opposite leg and notice if that's different for you. It's different for me. It feels less familiar. But it's good, again, we're breaking into those areas of discomfort without pain. It's just that awareness. You might need support underneath you. So again, this might be your lesser familiar cross of the legs. So releasing fingertips towards the earth. Tall spine, core is very active. We're going to work the core. Connect to the breath, finishing an exhalation. Inhale, sweeping arms up, find that same length. Keeping that as you exhale, twisting over to that left side, gazing over the left shoulders, fingertips towards the earth. Sweeping back up as you inhale, rotating through the spine, and then exhale. Arms release down, gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale up, maybe even lifting the gaze, slightly arching the back. Exhale, twisting. Inhale. So really trying to mobilize through the spine and through the rib cage. So the rib cage kind of articulating around the spine. We're going to do this one more time from side to side. And let's come into a more dedicated twist. So over to that left side, left palm to the earth, right hand to the thigh. Press into the earth, find length. Press into the thigh, find more rotation. Maybe even releasing the gaze down. That way you can get a stretch into the right shoulder. Maybe into the outer edges of the right neck. The right neck? No, the right side of your neck. One more breath here. And then just simply release, slowly coming back through center, breathing. Inhale, sweeping arms up. And then again, we're twisting actively over to that other side, palm pressing into the earth, lift and lengthen. Inhale, press into the thigh, exhale, rotate. Again, the side might be very different. Mine is gazing down. See if you can't stretch into the left side of the neck. One more breath. And releasing, unwinding back through your center. Noticing any difference in the body. You can start to slowly circle the spine. Again, we're thinking about core being active, but the outer body is soft. Still thinking about moving the rib cage around the spine. You can start to circle then in the opposite direction. All these movements really great for counteracting all of the sitting we might be doing. And then as you come through center, just again, roll through the shoulders, up, back, and down. Shifting off the blanket, palms alongside the hips, lengthen the legs once again. Open the chest. If you're rocking the head back, make sure it's intentional, not just dropping the head, but actively lengthening from the tailbone all the way up the spine through the crown, the top of the head. Neck very safe as you breathe. One more breath. Shifting the gaze forward. You can bend your knees, plant your feet. Let the feet go hip distance or as wide as the mat. Start to windshield wiper the legs from side to side. So you'll feel that spinal twist here, gazing in the opposite direction as the knees. And then releasing the knees over to that left side. The left palm is going to be alongside the left hip. We're going to be on that left shin. And then you're going to sweep the right arm up. And I like to extend my right leg. I'm on the ball of the foot, but I can also be on the sole of the foot. This is the inhalation. Beautiful expansion in the body. As you exhale and come through seated, arms parallel to the earth, we're spiraling and twisting. Rotating back through center, palm grounds, inhale. So you're arching through the back, exhale, ground, and twist. Arms parallel, gazing over that right shoulder. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. Exhale. Arriving back through center. Arms stay lifted, rocking back, and see if you can just float the shins. They're parallel to the earth. See if you can squeeze the inner legs together. Keep that action. Grow the spine tall. Maybe arms come parallel. You can start to lift the left arm and back down. Lift the right arm. Back down. Lift both arms. Keep breathing. Back down. Then, maybe even without hands, we're going to come to the opposite side. So that twist is happening on the opposite side. So 90 degrees. Right hand alongside the right hip. Sweeping that left arm up. And again, you can lengthen through that left leg. This is your inhalation, activating back body. Grounding as you exhale, twisting and opening. Sweeping up, inhale. Grounding down, exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, really open up the front of the body. Feel length and space. Exhale. One last time. Finishing your twist, rotating back through center, rock back into the boat pose. Squeeze the inner legs together. Hands can always come to the backs of the thighs. You can also release feet to the earth, but we're working core. The more you rock back, the more you have to work, right? We want to keep the spine tall, the heart open, and that's kind of where the magic happens. So from here, I'm on a little bump, making it even harder. Like we need it to be harder. Okay, so arms can release. You can start to lengthen through the left leg and release. The right leg and release. Again, inner knees squeeze together. Maybe lengthen arms, maybe lengthen legs. Keeping the core active, come onto your back. So it's nice and slow. One more breath. And relax back down. Make sure the props are out of the way. Mine were not. Go ahead and bend your knees, plant your feet. Just relax here for a moment. Relax into the psoas, so that hip flexor psoas. We're just letting that soften. This is a beautiful pose for that. Connect to the breath, finishing an exhalation. Inhale. Let there be a softness as you inhale. And then as you exhale, press the low back into the earth, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, finding that rest, that relaxation. Exhale, tucking. Inhale. Next time you exhale, we're flattening out the low back, so you might notice that. Keep the core active, draw the knees in, and then rock gently from side to side. So these subtle movements might not seem like much, but when we bring awareness to the core, that deep core, we build that beautiful subtle strength. So as you come back through center, we're going to release the left foot down and keep the right knee drawn in. You can interlace the fingers behind the thigh. If this is not happening for you, where'd my lovely strap go? That's why we can have a strap handy. So you can always interlace or use the strap behind the thigh. Your choice. You can keep this knee bent as well. We're going to lengthen through that right leg and start to flex and point through the foot. This again should not cause any pain. I can have a soft knee if I need to. Kind of roll at the ankle. Mine's all poppy. And spread toes. Relaxing. Noticing any tension in the body. And then again, your choice. You can keep this left knee bent or you can lengthen through that left leg, really grounding that left thigh to the earth. Draw the right thigh in towards the belly, starting to lengthen the leg. And bend the knee. Draw the thigh in towards the belly. And we're not looking for the deepest stretch here. We're looking for engagement. Draw the thigh in, and then draw the left thigh down. It's almost like you're scissoring the legs apart. So as you lengthen through that right leg, keep that. Start to walk the hands up towards the calf, or again, the strap is there. Starting to draw the leg in. Again, that's lots of core strength. Draw that left thigh down, maybe releasing the arms. They're parallel to the earth. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A bit more lift, and then as you exhale, releasing, bending that right knee, taking hold of the knee with the left hand spiraling over to the left side. Maybe the gaze is over the right shoulder. Breathe. Maybe closing the eyes if that feels safe for you, just to investigate what's happening in your body. Support yourself as you need to. One more breath. You can start to draw the knee back through center. You can hug both knees into the chest, rocking a little from side to side. Doing the other side, that right foot releases to the earth. You can start to lengthen through the left leg, interlace the fingers, flex and point through the foot, roll the ankle, spread the toes. Again, you're always welcome to use a strap. And keeping the right knee bent or lengthened through the leg. Draw the left thigh in as you bend the knee. So really driving that right thigh down, left thigh into the belly, extend and rebend through the left side. Again, just really engaging here without straining. Next time you extend through the leg, keep it there. You can start to draw up, interlace the fingers, or again use the strap. You're more towards the calf. Core is active. Actively drive the right leg down, actively draw the left leg in. You can release and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, a bit more lift on 1, and then exhale, relaxing back down. Bending that left knee, taking hold of the knee with the right hand, twisting over to that right side, gazing to the left, and breathe. Feel the expansion in the front of the body. One more breath. Starting to draw the knee back through center, and you can hug the knees into the chest. A little rock from side to side. So you come back through center, stilling the movement, starting to lift the head, lift the shoulders, reach the fingertips towards the front of the room, and draw the knees in, as if they could draw back behind towards the shoulders. So keeping this really rounded shape, start to rock forward and back. So really keeping that ball shape. Getting a little bit of hang time on that sweet spot between sit bones and tailbone. And rock and roll all the way up into your boat pose. So staying here, inner thighs squeezing together. Arms kind of lift, maybe rocking back a little bit. Biceps by the ears. Lengthen through legs. One more breath. You can bend at the knees, roll over the shins. Coming into a downward facing dog. Starting to pedal out through feet, bending one knee, bending the other. Spreading toes, shifting hips a little.
So you find stillness, go ahead and firm this up. Activate through the arms, through the shoulders, actively pressing the mat away. You can have soft knees, heels can be lifted. Just thinking about heels heavy. Open up the spine, one more breath. Take your time releasing knees to the earth, coming into a tabletop position here. And from here, starting to sink the chest towards the earth. So keeping the arms strong and long. And then as you press the mat away, just notice how that puffs up the back body. So keeping that energy, elbows drawing in towards the midline, engage the core, tuck the tailbone, inhale. Exhale, begin to release towards the earth. And then pressing away, sinking back into a child's pose. So only coming forward so much so that you can press back up. So back to the tabletop again. You can sink the chest low and then puff out the back body, tuck the tailbone, core is active, shifting forward and down. So maybe you just go down a little bit and then press away and then child's pose. So we're going to do that just a couple more times. Again, puff up the low back or upper back, tuck the tailbone, inhale. Exhale, shifting forward and down. Pressing the mat away. Child's pose. One more time. And child's pose. In your child's pose, you can make fists with the hands and roll at the wrists. Pressing the palms under the shoulders, tabletop. And we'll just flow with the breath a little bit here. So ground the right palm, reach the left fingers to the right corner, inhale. Exhale to sink back, stretching long through that left side of the body. Back through center. Inhale, reaching the right fingertips to the left corner. Exhale, sinking back. Just continue that. Flow from side to side, moving with the breath. Actively reaching, actively stretching. Let's do one more time from side to side. And as you arrive back through center, curl the toes under, starting to walk the hands back, lift the knees, coming into a squatted position, the backs of the hands to the earth, head heavy. One more breath. Fingertips to the earth, starting to lengthen the legs. Feet can go wide, coming into a forward fold. Knees can be soft, hinging at the hips. You can dangle fingers and arms. You can hold on to either elbow. If it feels good, you can sway your torso a little or sway the head. One more breath here. Starting to bend your knees, engage the core, rolling up slowly, one vertebra at a time, arriving, starting to make some rolls through shoulders, up, back, and down. One more time, rolling through shoulders, keep the chest open. And place your palms at the sacrum, so at the low back. So comfortable in the legs, mountain pose. Maybe knees slightly bent. And again, hands to sacrum, start to draw the elbows close together. And then relax. Press the elbows close together as if they could touch along the spine. Press the sacrum down. Maybe start to lift the gaze. And soften forward. Again, elbows draw together, pressing the sacrum down, lengthen through the spine, lifting the gaze even more, pausing here, breathing here, make sure the low back feels happy. There's no tension, no forcing. Again, we're just opening up the front of the body. One more breath. Shifting forward, relaxing arms down. Standing in your mountain pose, you can start to release the right ear towards the right side, actively drawing the left fingers towards the earth. You'll start to rock the head forward and back, relaxing through the jaw. Back through center, left ear to left shoulder, driving the right fingertips down, and again, you can rock the head forward and back. Breathing, and you release. Aligning, coming back through your center. Just taking a few rolls through shoulders, integrating that opening into the entire shoulder girdle. And then finding just one block for now. And you can have that at the higher height, feet about hip distance apart. Starting to release the right hand to the block, starting to bend the right knee, reaching the left fingertips skyward, maybe rocking back, thinking about the center of the chest opening, and then releasing. Left palm to the block, left knee bends, opening up that right side. And releasing. Always lower the block. Maybe get more of your hamstring stretch. We're just going to do this from side to side. One last time, third time. And coming back through your center. From here, heel to toe the feet closer together. So letting the inner big toes touch. As you bend your knees, the knees are touching. And you can use the block out in front of you to create stability as you align the spine, lifting through the spine. Maybe hands to your heart, excuse me. You can uplift the arms, just playing with balance. And if that's going well, you don't have any knee issues, you can start to lift. Heels are still lifting. One more inhalation, a bit more lift away from the earth, playing with that balance, and as you exhale, releasing arms back down alongside the body. And stepping the feet out wide, more of a goddess pose. You can also call this a horse stance. So we're going to start to bend knees, sweeping arms up, palms touch. Exhale, gliding hands through the heart. Lengthen legs, inhale, drive the knees away from one another, creating that space in the front of the body, exhale, gliding hands through the heart, one more time, sweeping arms, stay grounded, palms sweeping down in front and then hands to the thighs, see how much lower you can go, press the thighs away from one another, inhale, exhale, dropping or releasing that right shoulder down, gazing over the left, back through center, inhale, exhale, releasing that left shoulder down, gazing over right, one more time from side to side, exhaling. Grow the spine tall, one last time, exhaling, twisting, lengthening, lengthen through the legs, heels out, toes in, hinging forward. Again, you can always use the block if that's necessary, coming into your forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Bring the spine more parallel to the earth. Bring the arms parallel to the earth. And inhale, grow the spine tall, realigning. You can start to heel to toe the feet closer together. So just playing with balance for a little bit here. You can start to shift the weight over to the left foot.
We're going to lift the right foot, so the thigh is parallel to the earth. You can start to travel that right hand down the inseam of the leg, catching hold of the big toe, finding a nice tall spine, and falling if necessary. So balance, right? From here, finding a gazing point for the eyes, you can start to extend through that right leg. You can always have a softness to the knee. And then see, you can just release that leg. Foot is parallel to the earth. It's much like we did on our back for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Shifting a little from side to side. So it's that same kind of action that we were just doing on our back. So it takes that kind of driving force of the thigh towards the belly to keep that leg up lifted, really strong in the hip flexors. So as much as we want to open the front of the body, we want that strength as well to support that opening. So the right foot is grounded. Shifting to the right, travel the hand down the inseam of the leg and catch hold of the big toe, tall spine. Find your gazing point, extend through the leg. You can always have a soft knee. But again, really driving the thigh towards the belly. Release the leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax that foot. So from here, feet about hip distance. I usually need a block for this. We're coming into a squat. Keep the heels grounded. Start to bend your knees. So for me, more comfortable to have that block underneath the sacrum. You can draw the elbows into the inner legs. Hands into prayer. Just a malasana squat. Opening up again those inner legs. You can twist a little here, right arm down, left arm lifted. Switching that out, left arm, fingertips to the earth, or palm to the earth, right arm lifting, spiral through the spine. From here, see if you can remove the block now that we've opened. Arms can come out a little bit more for balance. And then slowly, without crashing down, come through seated. We're going to set ourselves up for some lunging. So I like to use the blanket for support under knees, and then the 2 blocks, or you can use a chair out in front of you. So you're going to come to standing on your shins. Blocks at the higher height. Tall spine, much like a mountain pose here. Draw the tailbone forward. Notice if that creates any kind of spaciousness in the hips. So we've just kind of worked these guys a little bit. We're going to stretch them out a little bit as well. So you can find the blocks, stepping the left foot forward, shifting the hips forward and down. Now we're going to do some hamstring curls. You can start to bend through the right knee for 5, 4, heel to the glute, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted, see if you can rock back, take hold of the foot, then shift the hips forward and down. Bend the elbow, nice quad stretch, but maybe even feeling that once again in that hip flexor. As you release the foot, see how slowly you can find the ground once again. So backing the hips up, take the blocks with you, half splits here. Think about your cat-cow. So this is your cat, rounded spine. We want more of the cow shape here. The chest is opening, shoulder blades draw back. Flexing through the foot, knee can be soft, and I'm actively releasing my tailbone back behind me, so it's a nice opening there. And rebend the knee, replanting through the foot, pressing the top of the foot into the earth, and the sole of the foot. Hips squaring forward, maybe the hands come to the thigh. Still drawing hips forward and down, getting that beautiful stretch in that hip flexor. You can stay here, or you can sweep arms up, finding length in the spine. Maybe the gaze lifts.
One more inhalation. Exhale, shifting back. Again, you can find the blocks coming into half splits. Rebend the knee, replanting the foot. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee. Becoming light on the blocks. Maybe they're not necessary. You come away from the blocks. Again, hand can always come to the thigh, arms alongside, or uplift the arms. Whole body actively engaged, active with the breath. One more inhalation. And then as you exhale, finding the blocks once again. You want to shorten your stance, so maybe drawing that back foot in slightly, both feet grounding. I'm in my pyramid pose. Legs are straight and strong. Hips still squaring forward, so that might mean that I'm drawing that left hip back in space. Nice tall spine here. One more breath. So from here, starting to bend through the left knee. You can move the blocks to the side, grounding down through the palms, sweeping that left leg back. It's your choice. You can flow through a vinyasa. So you can come through plank, chaturanga, inhale, cobra or up dog, pressing back into your down dog. You know, come into child's pose. We're just wanting a more symmetrical shape for the body. One more breath. We'll all meet seated on our shins once again. So again, we want that symmetry in the body, standing tall through the spine, hips drawing forward, so tucking through the tailbone. You can find the blocks. Shifting that right foot forward, finding your lunge here. We'll do everything on that other side. Beginning to activate through the hamstring group and the back body. So lifting through that back leg for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep it lifted where you can rock back. You can find the foot with that right hand and then shifting forward, sink the hips low. This opens the chest, opens that left quadricep, left hip flexor. You can always widen the stance here if you need to. If you need more of a stretch, you can bend through that right elbow. So you release your hand from the foot. It's a slow, controlled release of the top of the foot back down to the earth. You can start to shift the hips back, finding your half splits here. Squaring the hips forward, again, that more of that pelvic tilt back, as opposed to the tucking. We're tilting and opening through the chest, flexing through that right foot. Beginning to rebend the knee, replanting the foot, becoming lighter on the blocks. Hands can come to the right thigh. Maybe uplift the arms, uplift your gaze. And driving the right foot into the earth, the top of the left foot. Glutes are active, back body is active. Open the front of the body. One more inhalation. And then as you exhale, sweep the arms down, sweep the hips back. Half splits once again. And shoulders away from ears. Front of the body is still open here, so you're actively working the back body to maintain that expansion. As you shift forward, planting through the front foot, curl the back toes under, lifting the back knee. And again, you are welcome to stay here. Maybe become lighter on blocks. Hands can come to the thigh. Arms relax. So we've got options in terms of your balance. Keeping the eyes steady. Breathe.
little more inhalation, a bit more expansion in the front of the body, and then as you exhale, arms relax down, shortening your stance here. Feet are wide, so there's room for the hips. You can draw that right hip back in space, grow tall through the spine. You're hinging at the hip joint. The blocks can always move. I'm just going to move that blanket out of the way. We won't need it after this anyway. Over time, maybe even lowering the blocks. You can always use the fists to the blocks or to any of the supports that you're using. One more breath. And start to bend through the front knee. Move the blocks to the side. Again, it's your choice. You can flow through vinyasa or just down dog or child's pose. So what do you need here just to complete your practice? A few breaths in that resting pose. And then releasing knees to the earth. Come to seated on shins just so you can shift the hips to one side, sweep legs out in front. You want plenty of room back behind us. Core strength. So hands to the backs of the thighs. You're going to rock back, maybe lifting the shins. Arms can relax. They're more parallel to the earth. As you make your way onto the back, and stretch along through the body. And draw the knees into the chest. A little rock from side to side. Releasing any tension in the back. And massage that out and circle through the knees in both directions. Drawing the feet skyward, palms alongside the hips, reversing the energy in the legs. Flexing and pointing through the feet, spread the toes, roll the ankles. Bending the knees, bring the soles of the feet together. See if you can take hold of the ankles, if not the pinky toe edges of the feet. So a little bit different from Happy Baby. Start to release the pinky toe edges of the feet onto the earth. Arms up overhead, taking hold of either elbow. Let the belly be soft for 3 deep breaths. Relaxing the arms alongside the body, lengthen through the legs. We're coming into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So if you have time for that, by all means, take your time. Feel complete in your practice. Feel rested. Thank you for joining me today for Krannert Art Museum Yoga. Again, take this time for Shavasana and have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.